tuning into the NBA here on 2K Sports, a Friday night NBA presentation. It's going to be the New York Knicks up against the Detroit Pistons. And that's it for now. Let's send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you soon.
I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breaking in, shaping up. Then it's a revolution, I suppose. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa.
From suburban Detroit, we proudly bring you the Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. Someone will be keeping an eye on Andre Drummond.
Yeah, Drummond has explosive lift, and it's why he can go up and get so many shots defensively in terms of blocking the ball. People just don't expect him to get up as quickly as he does, but he is really bouncy for a big man.
He is that. He's light on his feet, and he's very fast. I mean, just straight up running down the court. This guy gets up and down like a much smaller man, and I think he's got some real promising potential.
Only one game away from New York here. The Knicks will be back home for the next one. They're in 9th place in the Eastern Conference, still in the playoff picture, but they could use some wins.
Well, Kevin, in the previous 3 games, they've mostly been backpedaling. They've just really been caught off guard. They've only won 1 of them, so I think tonight is really a big game. They've got to regain some confidence when they go against this club.
Yeah, I think so too, Steve. I mean, they've got to start cooking with gas instead of electricity. I mean, they've got to show some fire and some fight, and they've only got 4 quarters left to make sure they can even this season tally up. So they got to put some heat on that food.
It always comes back to food with you, doesn't it, Club? Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
For the New York Knicks, they come in off a good outing against the Raptors.
And they were so proficient in that game offensively, guys. Their passing was dynamic, shot making, a really good flow to their offense.
Well, they played a very intelligent game of basketball, Steve, and those two things go hand in hand.
Felton against Jennings. Monroe with a screen on Felton. Chandler with the steal. And now Felton running the floor all by himself. Lays it in off the breakaway.
Straight to the bucket with a nice head of steam.
Well, no reason to slow it down when there's nothing in the way. The Pistons have gone now 5 seasons, guys, without posting a winning record, and they're on their 4th coach in that time. Been musical chairs on the bench. Hopefully, they'll be able to find some stability there and some improvement on the court.
Smith. Back to Felton. So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. He dishes it to Chandler. Smith misses the 3. And the Pistons' long rebuild has hurt attendance. There's no doubt about that. It's dropped over 20% over the last decade, down around 67% last season. Steve, last in the NBA.
Well, of course, this city has also been hit hard by the economy, Kevin, and that has played a role. But no question, the Pistons' struggles have led to the attendance dropping. Hopefully this team, with the good young talent they've put together, can get things turned around and get these fans back.
First one falls for him.
Well, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, I guess we can call him KCP. 6'6" shooting guard out of Georgia, one of those guys that stat heads love because he has that rare combination of being a great three-point shooter and a great free throw shooter.
Both free throws good from Caldwell-Pope. Go back to Caldwell-Pope. Not just a shooter, he can defend. Average 2 steals a game. Clark also grabs 7 rebounds a contest at Georgia.
Kevin certainly has the athleticism to impact the game with his quickness and jumping ability. The question can be, can he develop his ball handling and take advantage of the athleticism offensively?
Smith, the pass to Carmelo. Just 3 to shoot. Uncovered. That one wide left.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Jennings kicks to Caldwell-Pope. There's the dish to Smith. Anthony on him. No block shot. Detroit, no good that time either.
He worked himself into a really good position there, right near the basket. That's the look he wanted.
Chandler dishes to Stoudemire. Outside, Felton. Back to Stoudemire. Pass to Carmelo. Beyond the arc. Offensive rebound. He's guarded by Jennings. And Anthony gets it to go.
Yeah, you know, even from his college days at Syracuse, Carmelo has always had the ability to step up in crunch time and more often than not deliver. When the fourth quarter rolls around, he seems to take his game to another level.
Well, with the way that Melo is able to create his own shot, Steve, off the dribble or in the post, that makes him very valuable and dangerous, particularly in the fourth quarter. I mean, he's a guy that makes it really hard to defend him because he's so versatile.
Nice shot by Smith. 30 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Felton with the ball, averaging 9 points per contest. Feeds to Carmelo. Out to Smith. Lets it go from deep. That's in there. Anthony with the assist.
Not a really great start for him as he just isn't shooting the ball that effectively here early on.
It's Jennings with the drive. Sweet little floater. Jennings has got his second bucket tonight.
Now, there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
So at the end of one quarter of play, still a close game. It's Detroit leading by just one. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Ladies and gentlemen, H to the ISO.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
The defense was really impressive there, guys, in that first quarter. They came out focused right from the beginning.
And, Steve, that's a big part of why they're on top right now.
Here are the five New York has to start here in the second. In the middle, it's Anthony and Chandler. Hardaway is out there with Pablo Prigioni, and it's Shumpert in at the three. New York trailing. Their last meeting was in Detroit, where they were unable to fight off the Pistons.
Well, the big thing is they've got to avoid tonight what happened in the previous matchup. A lot of their starters were on the bench with foul trouble in that game. You know, the defense didn't exactly try to fight around that screen, and that's why it turned into the easy basket.
Now Bynum, averaging 8 points a game. Singler outside. That's in, coming off the assist from Bynum. Singler's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Just to focus on what Steve was talking about for another moment, their foul trouble, Clark, probably had more to do with that loss than anything.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. I mean, I thought they lost their heads a bit. They just basically lost control. Things started to get physical. They didn't really show any discipline. They started committing unnecessary and foolish fouls. It was just a real collapse in terms of mental fortitude there.
Got to keep the composure.
Always.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. And Prigioni kicks to Shumpert. He feeds it to Prigioni. Back to Shumpert. Dishes it to Prigioni. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Three-pointer. Rodney Stuckey pulls it in. For the Detroit Pistons, they come in off the loss to Oklahoma City.
They had major problems at the charity stripe in that game. It was interesting. They just could not make free throws.
Yeah, and that's frustrating to watch, especially on the road where your opportunities at the line tend to be a little more sparse than when you're at home. Boy, you've got to cash in on them. Jonas Jerebko is really a mobile, hustling four-man out of Sweden. I mean, a nice find for the Pistons. as a second-round pick back in 2009.
Keone passes to Hardaway. Drains the three-pointer. Hardaway has got himself on the board with 3 there.
Well, and the bounce pass was the key to the play.
And now the first time out called here for Detroit. And Jerebko had that Achilles tear, missed the 2010-2011 season.
Yeah, but he bounced back nicely. A little bit of a tweener, kind of a small forward, power forward hybrid, but he's tough. You love the energy and the defense that he brings to the game.
Yeah, Jonas is a nice rotation big, you're right. Chauncey Billups is checked in for Detroit. Monroe dishes to Single. It's rebounded by New York. Hardaway kicks to Shumpert. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Prehione. He's guarded by Stuckey. 5 to shoot. And Shumpert kicks to Hardaway. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. The Pistons have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Stuckey drives inside. On the wing, Single. Jerebko. Pass to Billups. Singler outside. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Here's Stuckey. Again, the miss by the Pistons. New York's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And it's Shumpert penetrating. Here's Prehione. The feed to Carmelo. All sorts of time. Offensive rebound. Chandler kicks to Prehione. 17 seconds left now here in the second. Outside Hardaway. Back to Shumpert. Some nice passing by New York here. From deep. Out to Anthony. And it's Anthony again missing. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Pistons lead by 1. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
So good to have you along on 2K Sports as the season nears its end. Let's check out what's going on. For the Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills, they got a tight one going on against New York. They've really put the clamps on defensively, made it incredibly difficult to get anything going. Some great work out there by Brandon Jennings. Nothing comes easy. He's done the hard work, and they could pull it out once they get to the second half. On the other side, the Knicks looking pretty solid as well. And defensively, they've done a good job grabbing rebounds, limiting second chances. Carmelo Anthony got off to a good start, and J.R. Smith's also been getting it done for them. And that's it for now. Thanks for stopping in with us. It's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, who are all ready with the call in the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the floor for Detroit. On the wings, KCP and Josh Smith. Monroe and Drummond there inside. And it's Jennings in at the point guard position. Monroe. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And the thing you notice right away with Monroe, great hands both offensively and defensively. He's got a soft touch on his shot and his passes. He really handles the ball probably better than most centers in this league.
I agree. I like his decision-making too, Steve. Not only the skills, but he makes good decisions. He's able to thread pinpoint passes. Some of that may be due to how Georgetown played when he was there. A Princeton-style motion offense that utilizes the passing ability of its big guys.
And the second free throw, good.
Well, you love the skill level for Greg Monroe. I mean, he played the Princeton-style offense at Georgetown. He's a terrific high-post passer, and he actually handles the ball really well for a guy of his size.
Felton the pass to Smith. Back to Felton for the lead. That's good. Felton has got 5 now. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
A great matchup. I mean, these two teams really match up well talent-wise. I'm enjoying this.
Out of bounds, New York takes possession. And you mentioned the great hands for Greg Monroe. A nice soft touch, Steve, around the rim.
And also great at just hauling in rebounds, grabbing steals. He really has a nose for the ball.
The Knicks with the lead. Felton dishes to Carmelo. Felton sets a screen for Anthony. And the basket good. Anthony's got his second bucket of the game to go.
You know, with that much of a height advantage, that's exactly what you should do. Take it straight to the rim.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Outside Jennings. Smith on the wing. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
That's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
His second person, second team.
The Pistons shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
At the line for 1.
The free throw drops for Smith.
You know, because Josh Smith doesn't put up huge numbers in any one area of the game, he sometimes gets overlooked for what he does on the floor. One of the most versatile big men in the game.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. And Steve, you mentioned Smith's versatility. Clark, there's no doubt he really fills up a stat sheet.
Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. Kevin, he does it all, really, and pretty tough defense, too. An all-star caliber player, there's no doubt about that.
First minute and a half of basketball here in the 3rd quarter.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
Well, that's how you send it. 2 hands and hammer it down.
The Pistons trailing. Now here's Jennings. Right now averaging 15 points a game. Now the pass to Caldwell Pope. He kicks to Smith. 5 on the clock. Passes it to Monroe. The shot no good. So New York will take it the other way. 1:52 left to play here in the 3rd. Anthony backing him down. Felton. New York moving it around. A good look from Smith. Another shot. And Chandler with a nice bucket inside. Now it's a 4-point Knicks lead.
In the first half, they shot a little over 30%. That's dismal. That's obviously not the start that you want to see. They've settled down here in this second half, getting some good looks, and they've started to knock them down.
And the rejection by Smith. Felton attacking. Smith against Jennings. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, guys, with the Knicks playing a space-the-floor pick-and-roll offensive scheme, I mean, Tyson Chandler is a hand-in-glove fit as the high-flying finisher inside, keeping defenses honest and then cleaning up the mess on the weak side board if shots are missed.
First free throw is good. And Clark, you talked about what Chandler has meant for this Knicks team, both on the court and in the locker room. And you wonder, you know, if Dallas, Steve, had it to do over again, do you think they would have tried harder to re-sign him?
Well, I understood the plan. Dallas felt like with Dirk Nowitzki getting older, they had to save that cap room for a superstar, maybe Dwight Howard or Chris Paul. But it's always easy in hindsight when those things don't happen to say, hey, what were you doing?
Pistons trailed by 6. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Caldwell Pope gets to Jennings. And it's blocked by Chandler.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, they're fighting for every loose ball, putting a body on somebody and going after the rim.
Smith the pass to Drummond. Singler covered by Smith. Caldwell Pope gets to Jennings. Here's Singler. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. And it's 6 points now in the game for Kyle Singler. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Anthony. It's Drummond with the rebound.
Well, his shot's been off today, no question. He's not the guy they're going to want to look to if they want to keep this lead where it is.
Drummond sets the screen for Jennings. Kicks to Singler. It's back to Jennings. Jennings can't get that one to fall. Here's Anthony. The shot is off. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. New York ahead, up 3. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for New York.
Their defense has been outstanding, Kevin, closing out on shots, blocking a lot of them as well.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively, and they've been turning those turnovers into points.
And on the floor for New York here in the fourth, Anthony, Stoudemire, and Chandler, their front line. The guards, Ray Felton and J.R. Smith. The Pistons making a change here. Monroe's checked in. Smith for 3. That's good. Smith's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Knicks.
After what was just a horrendous shooting performance in the first half, they finally started to find their stroke.
It's amazing to think they actually have the lead here, Clark, given how poorly they played in the first half. They really didn't shoot well, but you know what? They're starting to stick it out. They're finding their way in this game.
A shot by Anthony, no good. Pistons trail by 6. And here is Bynum. He dishes it to Jennings. Shot clock at 6. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
He's off on the first. Iman Shumpert is checked in for J.R. Smith. Good on the second free throw. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Felton against Jennings. Anthony right side. Tipped away. Felton kicks to Shumpert. Clock at 6. Jennings against Felton. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Jennings. Knicks with the rebound. Chandler's got his 4th rebound in this one.
He has not been on his game, and you know their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not helped the situation.
Shumpert. Stoudemire dishes to Felton. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. He passes to Carmelo. Back to Felton.
2 minutes remaining.
The dish to Shumpert. Pass to Felton. Over Jennings. Nice shot by Felton. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, Kevin, head coach of the Pistons had some words for his team over the break. He told them, guys, we're getting bogged down in the half court. Let's get out and run, see what's available in early offense. If there's nothing there, we can always back it out and run our sets. Good advice, Kevin.
A minute 50 left in the fourth. It's Jennings with the drive. That's good.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
New York calls timeout. They're in front by 5. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. That one on Monroe.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and 2 free throws are better than a layup.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line, and that increases their lead to 6. The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Jennings with the ball. Outside Jennings. 6 to shoot. Stuckey passes to Jennings. From the wing. Bullseye. Jennings has got 5 points now in the quarter. 1:14 left in the fourth quarter. Felton against Jennings. Now Felton. Back to Stoudemire. 6 on the shot clock. New York needs to get off a shot. And that one's good. And the Knicks lead by 6. 52 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
Time is definitely not on their side at this point.
Yeah, they need a quick bucket.
Jennings kicks to Stuckey. Stuckey right side. It's back to Jennings. And now they trail by just 4.
How about that cloth soft touch? I mean, just a gentle little teardrop, almost like a falling leaf. A leaf falling down slowly to the ground. Very sweet and colorful, too.
The first one, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
And as long as they continue to do this kind of work at the foul line, the lead should be safe.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Feeds to Stuckey. Into Smith. Tyson Chandler grabs the board. The Knicks have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. And so they choose to intentionally foul. Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And a new group in for the Knicks. So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. So it's the Pistons now. Outside Billups. Offline with his three. Here's Shumpert. Here's Freeman. So it's New York picking up the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Smith, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Tyson Chandler.
Just because I'm